Hi, this is Toby, and today I'll be showing you some Aussie dendrobiums from bud to bloom. And I've got a small collection of different Aussie dendrobiums, a mixture of native plants and hybrid natives. So I've got some Dendrobium kingianum here. These are just the kingianum species, they're not hybrids. I've got Dendrobium speciosum. This one's not going to bloom yet, it's still too small. I've got Dendrobium gracilical, and I've got some flowers coming up here. I also have a Dendrobium kingianum mounted over here that I separated, or this used to be the main plant, and those were the pseudobulbs I separated out. I've got this Dendrobium Wayne's Gold, which is a speciosum hybrid. I've got this Dendrobium Hildepoxen, and this one isn't going to bloom yet. I don't think it's going to bloom this season. It's mature enough to bloom because it's got the buds, but I don't see the buds starting to grow out. And I've got one more Dendrobium here, this Dendrobium Tetragonum Melaleucophyllum, and I was going to upload a video on this, but I wasn't happy with the video, so there isn't really one up yet. And I've mounted this onto a Melaleuca branch, and it did take around a year to establish before I put on any new growth in terms of new pseudobulbs. I think in spring all of these will bloom. Even this, you can see I'm getting a bud starting to develop over there, and there's another flower bud over there in that pseudobulb. I don't know if you can see it. But this video is just going to be a quick video on the bud development of these dendrobiums. And I'll just quickly talk about what usually happens with these. Now, this plant and the Tetragonum is the first time I'm having them to bloom, whereas I've got the Dendrobium kingianum to bloom before. These dendrobiums usually produce the buds for the inflorescence in winter, so you can see I'm getting flower buds here, or inflorescence, and they won't really bloom until early spring, so they just kind of develop over the winter. It'll start elongating. You can see this one's already starting to elongate, this Dendrobium gracilical, and the flowers will usually come out late winter and early spring. As with the larger ones, this is also first time blooming, but you can see lovely flower buds here, and when the flowers grow a bit more, I'll show you another update, and they probably won't grow too quickly, although it did look like this one came out quite quickly. Here's another update of the orchid flowers. The Wayne's Gold is doing really well, although I'm not getting a lot of flowers. I think they can get more. For a first time, this is really good. I don't know when they're going to open. It looks like they might actually open very soon, probably in a month or so. So it might not even bloom in spring, might bloom in late winter. The other orchids, the Dendrobium gracilical, you can see also producing some flowers. It's really nice. Kingianum will have to wait till spring because those buds are still tiny. If you come over here to the Tetragonum, you can see the buds are still developing. I think those are actually the flower buds there because I've got two of them, and it is meant to have a little bit of a stalk, but the stalk's not that long. But the flowers are very thin, so this is obviously just starting to form, and it will probably bloom in spring because that's way too small. The flowers, I think, can actually get that big. So we'll see. So here's an update of the dendrobiums. I've kind of just moved this one up here because it kept on falling over when it's windy, but now I'm going to move it back down because it's not as windy as before. Look at the inflorescence starting to develop on a lot of these pseudobulbs. Looking really nice. This Dendrobium kingianum. Dendrobium gracilical, I've got the buds forming. Look at the spots on it. I think that's why it's called the blotched cane orchid, the common name. These flowers, I don't think they're going to be too big. They may be opening soon. My Dendrobium Wayne's Gold doing really well. And look at these flowers, starting to turn a golden color. I think these flowers can get a bit bigger, so I've just got to wait before they bloom. And if you come here, I've just given this a little bit of fertilizer by mixing it onto the Melaleuca branch, but my Dendrobium Tetragonum, look at the flowers. Very interesting shape. Let's see if I can come around like this to show you. See if you'll focus. Look at the shape of that. Long and spindly. Here is another update of the Dendrobium. I've got my Dendrobium Wayne's Gold opening. Let's look at the flowers. I actually put it in the sun so it's actually brighter. With some nice light. Look at it. Nice gold color on the flower. Not really speciosum shaped flowers. The petals are more pointy. There are some red markings on the labellum and the column. Let's just open that up. Looks really nice. Decent sized flowers. Obviously I've got more. Now that I put it back here, we've got more flowers here. I've got a new pseudobulb growing there. I think my Dendrobium gracilical might be the next one to open. The flowers are developing quite slowly. They're still quite small. My Dendrobium tetragonum also developing quite nicely. You can see the long slender flowers, but I think these will have to still take a while because the flowers are still quite small. So here's another Dendrobium update. It's around 1 o'clock right now, and because the days are getting warmer, the Dendrobiums will emit a scent during the warmer parts of the day, and they don't do that when it gets cooler. But when they do start emitting that scent, you'll know because there's so many flowers and you'll be able to smell it. It does smell quite nice. Again, look at how many flowers we have. My Dendrobium gracilical also bloomed. It opened a few days ago, but the flowers are more open now, so I can show you. You can see nice small flower. The sepals are blotched. And it's also got a sweet smell right now, so very lovely. If we come to my Dendrobium tetragonum, I did give it a water this morning. These flower buds are looking really nice. I think maybe in a week, maybe even less, it should be able to open. And I'm assuming these will also smell quite nice as well when the weather warms up. Here's an update of the Dendrobium flowers. The Dendrobium Wayne's Gold is starting to wilt. You can see the flowers have finished. I did pollinate one of the flowers and you can see I've got a nice fruit forming. I also pollinated this flower on my Dendrobium gracilical with the Wayne's Gold pollen, and you can see once you pollinate the flowers, they will just start to close like that, and the ovaries will swell. The other flowers are still doing quite nicely. They're still open. They do smell really nice. I still think this smells the best. My Dendrobium kingianum will be getting flowers very soon, probably in a week or two. You see the flower buds are coming out, so quite a nice amount of flowers on that. I know that'll get a lot more flowers in the future when the clump gets bigger. My Dendrobium tetragonum, all the flowers have opened. I do have an upside down one there, but looks really, really nice. Look at that. Although the ones up there are a bit smaller, these are quite large. And in terms of length, they're actually longer than the Dendrobium Wayne's Gold, but they're just really, really thin. I really like this thin appearance on them. Nice golden color. First time blooming as well, as with my other Dendrobiums, except for the Dendrobium kingianum. But again, very, very interesting flower shape. Look at it. So here's another Dendrobium update. I've got my Dendrobium kingianum here, blooming lots of lovely little purple flowers. My other Dendrobiums have finished blooming. The seed pod didn't make it on the Dendrobium Wayne's Gold, but on my Dendrobium gracilical, it looks like it's still there, so that's good. I know when the clump gets a lot bigger, it will kind of have more flowers. This actually grows really quickly. All of this is pretty much new growth. So even if I split the clump, I think maybe in a season or two, it's gonna probably double its size. So yeah. So here's another update of the Dendrobiums. I'll only show the Dendrobium kingianum now. They're still blooming. I've just watered the kingianums. I haven't watered the other ones today. But just a few more flowers to go and we're all done for this season. The other ones are going to start growing soon. You can see my Dendrobium Wayne's Gold is already starting to produce new pseudobulbs. But I think I'll show you a final update before I end the video. The final update of the orchids. All the blooms have finished. You can see Dendrobium kingianum's finished. My Dendrobium gracilical, the seeds are still growing. The other Dendrobiums haven't really started growing except for my Dendrobium Wayne's Gold, but they should be growing soon when the weather really warms up. But they've had a good flowering season, and hopefully some of the ones that didn't flower, like my Dendrobium Hodopoxen, will flower next season. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll answer them. But anyways, thanks for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.